majority vote of every candidate, over, meaning 51% of those being in the election, that if we have to go to a second ballot, you've now got an obsolete absentee ballot that becomes a problem to diagnose in a second and third and fourth balloting should it become necessary. Well, one of the things that we did put in our document change was that we would change from majority to plurality. So if our documents are in fact changed to plurality, now the acceptance of an absentee ballot becomes applicable. So I've talked to a few people who wouldn't sign the documents, and they said if we changed it, they would. I talked to a few other people who had already signed the documents. They said, hey, it sounds fine to us. So therefore, I'm proposing that I return all the ballots that I have received thus far and submit a new affidavit of approval. And basically, I will give it to the board here. And for the audience, it says, basically what it does is it takes away the one clause D that talked about failure to be able to use an absentee ballot, and it substitutes the following. As determined by the board of directors, absentee ballots may be utilized to ensure secret balloting in the election of directors. Proxies may not be used in any form as absentee election ballots or to permit a proxy holder to cast election votes. Now, having said that, it's up to each board of directors at the time of the election to approve what items go on their proxy. Well, this will restrict the board from putting any election materials having to do with candidates on the proxy ballot. Now, in discussions with Gulf Breeze, Michelle says that many homeowner associations have gone to this secret ballot, which is a double ballot, and it's a little bit more complicated, but someone said they thought it had been used here once, and I don't recall it. But in any event, Michelle says there's no problem. Under this, the board would be setting up the election procedures, probably with the help of an attorney this time, and we would proceed. Now, in order to do this, we're going to need 165 people agreeing to the new document change, and I think that's totally attainable. I'm counting on the newsletter. I've already written an article, and as soon as Paul gives me a date and you've approved this, then we'll cover it in the newsletter, and if necessary, we will end up going door to door. Is anybody here opposed to absentee ballots if they're legal?
Jack, they did that at the Congo for years. It worked out absolutely fine. And everyone was aware you either put your name up or you could still nominate from the floor. But, okay, you know you're not going to get the vote. It works perfect.
And condo law allows for it. Homeowner law never clarified that specifically.
Well, they may shortly.
You have to have nominations from the floor because you could have an absentee ballot with 5 people. Those 5 people could show up at the election and say, we've decided not to run. So now you need to have the ability to have nominations or else you have no election. So the advantage of having them from the floor has to remain. And hopefully this will be
And that's
done.
fine. There's nothing that says that you can't. But at least it will hopefully keep it legal.
Okay. And it will avoid this proxy battle that we seem to have
Absolutely. Which
over
is
the last several
absolutely
years
ridiculous.
on different issues. Okay. So I ask that the board accept this. Well, there's one other thing here. Some people, one homeowner has been repeatedly asking for me to release and for Gulf Breeze to release a copy or the names of the people who had agreed to the changes. I felt the only purpose that that would serve would be for contact to be made to perhaps dissuade people from signing the changes. So as fast as they came in, I would come over to Gulf Breeze and pick them up, and I had them all in my hands. And I absolutely categorically refuse to submit them.
They're in committee.
This individual has gone to Charlie Crist with an email and a follow-up complaining about the use of my notary public to locate these documents, saying that I am knowingly breaking the law. also written an email to the Florida Bar Association complaining about the fact that I am not an attorney and therefore I have no rights to write these things or make changes in them. Now, as a point of law, anybody can write anything they want to for a document. The secret is getting it filed with the county so that it does become, and that's where the affidavit becomes so important. So we put a clause, I put a clause at the bottom here. We wish the privacy of our submission of this affidavit to be maintained until approved modifications are appropriately filed with the Lee County Clerk of Courts. Let's get this out. If people want to sign it, they sign it. I already have a letter, which I'll drop in the mail tomorrow, with a copy of their original yellow that they signed, a copy of this one, and asking for them to sign this one. I will go to their house and do it. So all the originals will be returned, and the only ones that will be applicable will be the pink ones. That's part of what you're approving. Maintaining the secrecy of this affidavit.
I make a motion that we accept these proposed document changes.
We don't have the money to do this.
I second it.
Well, I just don't think that we have the money to do this year. We just,
May I answer that?
no.
There's no money involved in this.
For the mailing and all of that, this is going to take
And
special.
Terry, don't talk about mailing.
I am handing these out, and anybody I mail it to, it will be at my own expense.
If it does not cost the association any money to do this, then I'll support it.
And even if it does,
Then I want to know how much, because this is not the year to do that.
when it costs
Here, we
money,
can't
you'll
put
know.
off another year.
Okay.
Why delay these documents?
Okay.
Motion's been made
9
and
years
seconded.
in arrears already.
Question on a motion.
Do you want to,
Everybody ready to vote?
Question on a
what do you
motion.
say
we
about the
vote.
money? Does that need to be added into the
No.
motion?
No. Because it's-
I made a motion according to this here
No.
sheet right here. There's nothing else added to it.
Nothing to it, it's just.
The
a
motion
sheet.
is right here. There's nothing else I added
Not
to my
mailing.
motion.
Okay,
Nothing about
I-
mailing, it's just a sheet.
Okay.
Okay, the sheet.
Don't worry about the money.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
can't vote for it.
Okay, all
I
in favor?
do.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those are opposed, say no.
Me, no, sorry.
Now then.
When are we gonna bring this up?
Old business.
Old business, small claims court.
When's that?
I didn't know anything about that.
Basically, right now, the motion, I think it was from March, was to spend no legal fees, so the attorney stopped doing everything. There was one small claims court that was kind of pending out there at that time. So the way the motion was that we need authority to move forward, they stopped everything. So if the board wants to move forward with this other small claim that's kind of hanging out there, we need a motion to do it.
And we're not going to get all of our money back. It's going to cost us money.
But we have the right to defend
Can
our
I ask you a
documents.
question, Marlene? Have you ever had a business that you
Yes.
had to go to court? Did you
Absolutely.
ever win every case? I'm asking you a question.
Actually, no, I've never
I haven't
gone to
won
court
every
on
case
this.
either. You have to take a chance.
Okay, this case involves a truck that we've had trouble with for the last 2 years. And he refuses to put it in the garage, even though it fits in the garage. Puts his SUV in there instead of his truck. Now then, if we don't go after him, the one we did go after and won, what's the point? We've got to uphold our documents. That's the point.
Where is this?
We've already got a lien on his house.
Do we have a lien on our house?
There's a lien on that
For
house.
fees, yes. For
Is there
For
a
maintenance
lien on the
fees,
house?
yes, for maintenance